Mr. Tom, there is a request. We have a donation from Rogue Fennon
Thank you.
asking a shout out from you, thanking Rogue Fennon.
Rogue Fennon, thank you so much for your donation, and thank you for being a top-level Kids Next Door operative. I'll see you on Moonbase Zero for root beer and ice cream.
Thanks, Rob.
Yes, thanks, guys. Oh, okay. Let's go back to craziness.
Let's get it.
Can I show this? Can I show this? 'Cause
yes,
this is something
yes.
we want to do because we're raising money,
Yeah.
and I thought another great thing we could do to help raise money is I did this drawing of because Fozzie and Kermit were going to be here.
Look at that.
So I signed it, and that brought the value of it way down. So now we're going to have these guys all sign it too, and then down here, and then I'm going to put it up on eBay, and we're going to auction it off. And then we'll put the money towards this great cause.
Thank you.
So-
That's amazing.
So we'll do that later, and it's gonna be awesome when it's signed by all these
Can we
guys.
see that one more time?
Yes. One more
Wow,
time. There
look.
it is. Look, wait, look.
Yeah, look at
There
here.
we go.
And look.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really down.
The
You
likeness
really,
is amazing.
you got my good side. Yeah. It's this,
Thank you,
this
Tom.
side right here.
Please.
The
That's
face.
amazing.
Yeah, that's why he's the boss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks of these
That's
things.
why
Good
I,
ideas, yeah.
that's why
Yeah,
I get paid
yeah.
the medium bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you got
It's animation.
Wait. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So what do we talk about now?
Well, I want to talk about how you guys became the voices of Kermit and Fozzie. It was, because we were a ragtag team making a run for getting animation off the ground in a department that wasn't really supposed to be doing animation, but wink, wink, we were getting away with it. And like you said, get it
Love
done
that.
before they tried to stop us. I'm like, why do you guys get to make something? And the next thing was like, why do you get to be the voices of it? Because we're like,
Well,
the
but
best.
that's not how it started though, because
No.
we had to do auditions.
The audition
Really?
process
Disney has
grueling.
their like department,
process. Yeah.
Yeah.
and so they send
Casting
it out
department.
to everyone in the universe.
Yes, we have.
And
lots.
Matt, who did the
All of the
scratch voices
scratching.
for the
Yeah.
original pilot, his Kermit was awesome, and like
Oh.
and,
It was.
It's there. It's just there.
and he can and he came up to me at one point and said like, look, I know I'm going up against like all the top talent and stuff like that, but I want to throw my hat in the
Yeah.
ring for Kermit. I was like, dude, yeah, please.
Yes.
So everyone that came in, we were just like, not Matt. No,
Yeah.
that's not Matt. Like that's not
Set
like
the bar,
The
man.
dirty
You
trick
set
was we
the
had done the
bar.
test, and
Yeah.
your voice was on the
And I
test.
did,
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
But I still did I want to say I did at least
You did.
5
Oh, they can-
callback. Like
you
we
did.
did.
No, we put you
We did
through
a
the
bunch.
ringer.
It sounded
And-
too good to be true that the guy who did the
They didn't
editing
believe it.
Yeah.
should get
I
the
know.
voice.
They
I
didn't
know.
believe
But
it.
My first audition was my first callback was a disaster because I didn't realize yet that at home when I was doing the audition that to do the Kermit voice I had to stretch
Yes.
my neck out a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a little
And
bit
so,
of.
I kind of do it like this a little bit, which makes sense if you're puppeteering and you're looking down at a monitor, right? But so when I went into the audition, they're like, how tall are you? 6'6". Put the mic up here. And suddenly I was like
Yes,
looking
I
up and
remember
you're
this.
like, it doesn't sound like Kermit. Why doesn't it sound? And I kept on trying to like get the voice out. And then my headphones fell off and then I hit the stand and the water spilled and
Yeah.
I started sweating and freaking out. And everyone's just like, oh, Matt, why don't you go home?
There was a big hook.
There was like
That came in,
get
got
him out of here. And
I know that hook. I've seen that hook before.
Yeah, you shoot all the time. Yeah. Oh, it was my turn. Yeah.
Gosh.
It was my turn that time. But Joe called me that night and said, take a breath.
Right.
Try do another audition. Bowser came over and like
so good at
coached me and like we were coaching each other really all through the process.
Right.
Well, that was the other side of it. Like,
And-
wouldn't it be a dream?
Yeah.
If you guys.
And so it got me another shot, and then but that's when we realized, and it was because Bowser was like, "Oh, you got to lower the mic."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh," and then when I went back, we lowered the mic, and then suddenly it worked, and then I think that was the second callback, and then I think there was a third, right? 'Cause
Well,
we-
Disney kept saying like,
there were 4
well,
or
he's
5.
not a professional
No,
voice
no, and I
actor.
kept
Like,
doing it,
do you
yeah.
think he can? I'm like, he'll be fine.
No, and I had to come in and like ad lib,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they kept they they put me through the ring.
Yeah.
But
they
then
did.
you
was worth
got the Emmy for it. Huh?
That's true. I did.
What an Emmy!
We did it.
No, that was-
remember.
And you got nominated for Fozzie.
3 times.
Who can say that they lost 3 times? Huh? Almost winning one. We're losing 3 times. I've not heard about it. I just have a really good memory of it. Getting dressed. Collette was my date.
Yes, I was.
One of those-
I was.
Very good. That's the
But the
Gonzo
beautiful.
one.
That's
Fozzie was
exactly
picked
what
right
had
away.
been right
Like,
in front
like,
of
there were a
us.
couple.
So Yeah, we had Ben right in front of us, so it was like
Ben
was
right
great.
away. We like when he did Gonzo, we're like done.
done.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy.
Oh,
was,
wow.
like- so we got
Yeah.
we got a list of the list
this
from
was
Disney, and I
insane.
saw one of my good friends, one of my neighbors on
Yes.
there, and I was like, oh, Melanie made the cut.
Yes.
And I listened to it, and I was like, that's really good.
Yeah.
So when we went in for callbacks, it was you, me, Debbie. Like I
think I was in there
You might have been
sometimes,
there
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Everyone said, "Oh, we really liked Melanie Harrison." And I was like, "Okay, full disclosure, she's a
remember that, yeah.
personal
She's
friend."
nice.
And they're like, "That's great." I'm like, "I know it's great, but I don't want it to feel like she's
Like, it's no problem. How's to live with him?
right.
No,
That was my landlord.
I know.
You have to live
And-
together to
and-
be on this show.
And I knew Ben from doing Hot Wheels with him.
That's right. That's right.
I did Team Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
with
that's right,
Ben
you knew Ben.
Diskin.
Yeah.
But then we made it's odd how that
It all just
It's all
connected, and then
cosmically beautiful.
and then D. Bradley Baker.
Oh,
where,
I mean-
that was just like, who's gonna play Animal?
Animal. I don't know who plays all the animals. Every animal.
That was the fastest decision.
No, that was just like why are we having this discussion?
Yeah.
His audition, he came in. He said, "D. Bradley Baker reading for Animal." He went, "Hi, you're hi." Done.
we
And the
were.
rest
Right.
is Hollywood
And the
history.
rest is Hollywood history.
We have to
Yes.
shout out also to Mark Baldo, who invited him. Mark, you're not here. He thought he might stop by, but
Well,
he was-
Manhattan
Yeah.
Beach is a long.
So you guys, right before
Yeah.
you, we had Roger Craig Smith on it. It was
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Roger Craig Smith is on in the chat
he
saying,
have a-
oh yeah.
huh? Did
You
he?
have a puppet?
No.
Roger.
He had a closet.
Roger.
But Roger's like going, oh my gosh, the Muppets. He's loving it. Shout out to
Thank
RCS.
you.
Captain
yes.
America.
Yeah.
He was just in here, and he was in here with Yuri Lowenthal. Oh my God, they did the whole bit.
Robin, they were Robin
They did
Batman.
Robin and Batman.
Studio?
Oh my goodness.
Roger was on
Yeah.
Zoom.
An hour,
Yuri
2
was
hours
here,
ago.
And then we
Yeah.
had Amari.
Oh,
Amari came in and is older and wiser than all of us put together.
It was incredible.
And
I'll
then
be
Erica
working for her.
Limbeck came in, and then the Instagram
Yeah.
or the viewership went through the roof because she's got a bazillion followers. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And no, you guys, I mean,
And we're the song that you play at a bar when you want people to leave. Bring in us.
jazz.
can we hear it?
Yeah.
Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Oh, no, we can't sing the whole thing. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah, right.
sued.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Whoops.
Mess up the tune
Copyright
for me, right?
infringement.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from
Let's
all
just
your
feel
worries
like friends.
sure would help a lot.
Cheers. All our friends are at the bar. Oh my gosh.
So we were hoping that this thing that we threw together at the last minute, and thank you guys for showing up for just out of pure love of all of us knowing each other and working together for so long. This crew that put this thing together,
crew.
this all come together in
Yeah,
a
that's
week.
the crew.
In 1 week, this was put together. We hoped that this would be the funnest, most wild thing going on the internet tonight. If you like animation, I think it is. If you're enjoying it, please donate. Link is in the chat. 10kheroes.com. We're raising money for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We're going to change the world, change medicine, change the future for millions of kids. And let's keep on with the show.
There it is.
Well, yeah, there you go.
You guys aren't going anywhere.
Did you know
That's
that
what
my last name is D'Ambrosio? Fozzie Bear D'Ambrosio.
Is it?
Nobody knows that. Bear.
Ambrosia. It's Ambrosia.
Ambrosia. Yeah, well,
Ambrosia.
Bear is my middle name.
All right.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, let's talk about Joe for a second, because Joe championed this show,
Yeah.
Yep.
and if there's anybody who built the bridge, because everything's kind of in silos. You guys are over here, Disney's over here. Who are these guys? Joe is the guy that really built the bridge between all of it. Was the guy everyone could trust, who knew how the whole thing worked and could get the right parties in the room and get everybody comfortable that this team could work, this group could work. Because there were all sorts of stakeholders. I mean, we were interactive.
insightful.
Publishing was
Wow.
coming on board, and consumer products was over here, and we had to go to, we were in 15
this
different
was-
middles, and none of it made
Serving
sense.
And you had
serving
that-
a lot of masters.
And then you had Henson sitting in every single one of our records, somebody from Henson, I
Yeah,
should say.
Henson,
But Debbie was there. And so,
Debbie.
it was a precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, so again,
production.
remind me again why the Muppets and virtual reality and game and
Products
and
and
consumer
publishing.
products.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Remember? were.
And then we varied off and we did the puppet shows as well. I mean,
Play dates.
Playdates. Great.
Yeah, which my daughter was just watching.
Oh, really?
All day
boy.
today.
That's great.
Oh, I love that because
And that was we started that.
Segue.
Matt and I talked about doing it, and then we like Matt had a not that Kermit.
No,
puppet.
yeah.
He had like an original Kermit puppet that we like went to a park with the cousin of the woman who ran studio operations, Jesse's like niece or something, and we went to the Michaela. Yes.
Yeah.
And we went and literally like threw the puppet down the slide, like, and just and like went in
the
like
puppet?
It was a Kermit puppet that I had.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like it was about Kermit being
Puppet,
afraid to use the slide, and Michaela saying, "Come on, Kermit, you can do it."
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
and then this dead body goes down.
Well, and the
goes down
funniest part is that Tom had to buy clothes for it, so he went to Baby Gap. Bought a little T-shirt and pants and stuff, and it's like, children clothes, please. And then we dressed him up, and we went, "Oh no, I'm scared to go down the slide." And then we did the whole thing.
That was like another test.
We did it.
That was a little testing
test,
game,
yeah.
and I showed it to Disney, and they were like, "This is ridiculous. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
did
That's
it.
how you saw
then-
Playdates?
That's how we
nominated
told
for
them,
those
and then Debbie went through the process of getting Muppets made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
To
I was
look exactly like
over
our
the
show.
holidays. I got to going back to Philadelphia. We took a trip up to New York and stopped at the studio where they made the
Puppet Heap.
Puppet Heap, yeah.
Yeah.
And like seeing the puppet being made, it was just like
Well, not only that, but we got to be on set and meet the actual
Yes.
for the Muppeteers, and
Yeah.
who I actually just at the last Emmys that I was at hung out with Eric Jacobson for.
Oh yeah. That was
I,
picture, yeah.
I saw he and his wife. Oh yeah,
Eric Bauza, Eric Jacobson, who does Fozzie, Matt Vogel, Matt Danner doing
Yeah.
Kermit.
Eric
It was
and
so
yeah,
weird.
two Erics,
Like,
two
again,
Matts. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Whoa. Why is everything so weird?
So what do you think about this at 3 o'clock in the morning
Yeah, I
when we're
know.
still up here and we're thinking Kermit's
No, I
flying
think
around the
that's
screen?
on the top of my Twitter or X page or whatever. Like I still have the picture
It's
of
still Twitter.
It's still the group picture
yeah.
of me with, and every time I see it, it makes me happy.
That's like
Right?
the
Just-
craziest, right? Like
Like,
if
to
you
be
look
there
at
with
that,
all
like,
this Muppet. Oh, and I can't, and I forget the Muppeteer's name who was playing Summer. But when she, when a Muppeteer picks up a Muppet and puts it on, and it just springs to life.
Yeah.
It's just it's sorcery. Like it's so amazing.
sorcery.
And when she picked up Summer and started talking to me as Summer, I just started crying. I was
Tom came out of like I think you were in the back and his eyes were all red. I'm like,
everything's gonna be okay. I took all my money.
Well, it's an interesting full circle thing because we went to Puppet Heap when we were doing our research for the test.
right. That's
Because
right.
I think we sort of blew past it, but part of the reason why the test was so successful, and you had asked the question,
Yeah.
how are you going to reboot Muppet Babies?
Yep.
Was because of the sort of idea, and I think Matt was probably the first one that floated it when we were doing the test, was everybody's going to want to do 2D.
Yeah.
We need to make these things look and feel like the real Muppets.
And that first shot in the test you guys did was a close up of Kermit, and it looks the tennis ball
Mentally,
flies on
yeah.
you like
Yep.
it looks like you can
We
reach in there, and
cheated
it
it.
looked
Yeah.
it looked like a real Muppet, and it was 3D animation.
But then when we pulled wide and showed his whole body
Yeah.
and
And he's
him
walking
dancing
around,
the
it's like a
room,
wow
it was
moment.
like that was the magic.
And then he blasts off,
then he
and then
blasts
they blow
off.
up the
Yeah.
Death Star.
So we got to talk about that. So first we got the shout for Liquid Animation, our friends in
yeah.
Brisbane, the Viners,
Yes.
Steve and
The
Mike.
Viners.
The Vinus.
Made it all happen. They do amazing
and
work.
pieces.
They do tons of work for Disney all the time. They have a great animation studio and game studio in Brisbane, and they came on board to do the animation tests and actually did the models for us in production too, right? While Snowball in Toronto did the animation, but they were on board. They were so committed to getting that fleece looking right and figuring out, because to be able to produce it in a producible way that isn't going to be totally expensive, like they figured out so much about it. And then when we did in the test, what ends up happening is you pull back. First, you think Fozzie's first you think Kermit's a puppet because the way he's walking. I remember
we did
like we gotta make it.
You gotta trick him.
We gotta trick him.
It's like
yeah.
And then you it was your idea to pull back and reveal
that he's
all
got
these
feet.
walk, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? And then they blast off, and then we did the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
And did I ever tell you? I must have told you guys the story, but we had a trip. Me and Kelly ended up on a trip to Lucasfilm. To go up there for this whole VR sort of conference they were doing, and it was sort of a show and tell of like these are different parts of Disney doing different stuff. So we go into the big Lucas auditorium, like where they show, like it's a 500-seat auditorium, massive with this giant screen, and I'm like, oh my god, we're about to put the Muppet Baby, and we're gonna blow the Death Star up, and we don't have any approval to do this, and we mashed our.
No,
they were not amused. The Lucasfilm was not. No, they were. No, they did not think it was funny. Well, what the joke is, you guys run it back. First of all, they blast off and they're flying through Star Wars, which was the whole thing of Muppet Babies. It was completely on point. We didn't pull this out of nowhere.
We found we couldn't afford to do.
We couldn't do it. Somehow,
They own it.
George Lucas and Jim Henson had a handshake, and Lucas and Disney, who have a company together, couldn't get it figured out.
I think we got for the first episode of Muppet Babies, we got an Indiana Jones clip, and that was our budget.
Way to go, guys.
But I remember when we were like, hey, let's call Lucas, because we were, talking with all the departments. We're like, hey, let's ask Lucas if they want to give us footage, if we can use the footage. And I think it might have been Sam Delpilar who got on the phone with somebody and was like, no, we should just go downstairs to the Disney store and rip it off a Blu-ray. And that was it. And that's what we did. And we just it's going to be way easier. Just
pull it off.
Like, this isn't going to air. Like,
That's why Lucasfilm was mad.
They look too good.
They saw the watermark.
But it was worth it, man. On that giant screen, bigger than life. And then what the bit was.
Were you supposed to show it, though, or did you sneak that one in there?
I snuck it in.
Yeah.
We're like, I was like, what the heck? Come on. Like,
That's pretty cool.
Good not to see.
And every time I showed the clip, I would I went on like a Disney Cruise social media moms conference, and when the Death Star would blow up, there would always be this sort of weird moment. And I'd say like, and now a moment of silence for all those Imperials. Got the Muppet Babies just
Well, we did it twice, so they're fine. They're fine.
You were trying.
I might have.
I mean, oxygen.
It's Kermit's fault.
My fault.
That's still a mystery.
See how
That's a Muppet mystery.
They're clueless.
I didn't do nothing.
Let's put it in the movie. Since we couldn't do clips, that responsibility then of the fantasy sequences that we could do fell to Chris Moreno.
Yep.
And
Fell
Chris
right on me.
landed on
great
you.
The last couple inches.
Most script handouts were, you want me to do what?
And you
Like,
did
it'll be
it.
great.
Yeah.
It'll be
And then
great.
he would do it.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
You got a whole week.
We're going to
the entire time.
style now.
I love it.
Chris
You want me
would
to
sit down
do
and start
what?
smoking a cigarette, and we'd be like, wait, you don't smoke. No. What's going on?
Yeah, every response to every animatic was General Zod and Superman 2. Why do you do these things? You know I will kill you.
And I was like, because it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all having a good time. Yeah, no, I mean that was sort of like, I think the sort of idea of doing the 2D imaginations was like a flavor, because in the original cartoon they would do like clips. Right. But then they would also do like some weird, collagey things. They would do Monty Python type stuff. But yeah, when the actual footage stuff became like unproducible,
Unwieldy.
The sort of being able to go into imagination and do all these different art styles and stuff like that really sort of took flight, and sort of like then that gathered steam and sort of was a life of its own.
Yeah.
But I got to say though that's a testament to the design team that we put together, because we had a relatively small design team that had to design all of those sequences. Had to like build those backgrounds.
It's like on most shows, it's like you get into a rhythm, like, oh, this is how the show looks. Yeah. And every episode is like, now we're doing this.
And the new show.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. And it's for designers, and
good point.
it's fun to a certain point, because you get to do something different all the time.
Right.
And but the overseas studio is also like, wait, we're doing what?
Yeah.
Supposed to make
They can't get
Rubbernecking.
They can't get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
So and then
So
it's got to slow things down.
But as a result, though, we had some amazing imagination
Oh my gosh.
sequences.
Yeah.
We were and we were pulling all these really awesome references. Like we would
cuts.
Deep.
we would
Really
do
deep
like
cuts.
fairy tale stuff that looked like Ivan Earl backgrounds, and,
Yeah.
like Sleeping Beauty, and like we did like newspaper, like cutout collages,
So
and
cool. Yeah.
You just have to think about how many people it takes to put together this in so many different layers.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, look, it's 5.
Yeah.
People.
Kids, it takes 5 people to make a show.
You also had Tom, you had Joe, you had, everybody, all of us,
It takes a
engineers. It does.
Some people know, but some people don't.
Don't.
Animation requires a ton of people.
People.
And
Thank
just
goodness.
pre-production requires a lot of people. Then it goes overseas where there's even more people.
And then post-production.
And then it comes
Yeah.
back and post-production. It's a lot
And
of
plus,
a lot.
God bless Chris for taking it on at Oddbot. Like,
Oh,
somebody to
that's
hang
a
this,
shout out.
somebody to hang this on, and Chris stepped up for it, and
It only cost him
Yes.
10 years of his life. Right at the end.
Then he left town.
Chris, what's that briefcase full of money for?
Bye.
Bye. Asset count.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Asset, it was like
Those are
we
savings.
blew
To get us some
through
more backgrounds
for those of you who don't
season
know in animation, but primarily 3D. You have a certain amount of assets. You have a certain amount of characters you can build, a certain amount of props, a certain amount of backgrounds, and because our show had a lot of characters in it, like anytime a character changes a costume, that's an asset. Like anytime a character
yeah.
picks up something, that's an asset.
And you're only allowed
so many per season.
Yeah.
right.
We blew through most of our assets in
We're like
episode 3.
Episode 30.
like, that's it.
Yeah.
And you got to go back and reuse that.
Yeah, and we have to try and reuse. So we copied all pictures of all the designs of everything we had, all the props, and we put them up in the writers' rooms. And they said, "You can use these."
Oh,
It was like gorillas had to use sign language.
Chris was always like, "No more food, no more new food. If you put a new food in a script, I am coming to get you."
Food was the one.
Right.
Food was the one. Well, because here's the thing.
Apples again!
The thing about food.
How many times?
Those are apple slices.
I was looking at
Apple slices.
There's
tomato.
always apple slices.
What about a T-bone steak?
The thing about food, though, is it's not just one prop.
Right.
Thing.
It's not just one apple.
No.
Apple with a bite taken out.
Yeah. That's
Or
two.
if the character's eating it during the course of the
That's
scene.
3.
It's an apple with like half of it eaten, and then 3/4
Oh my
of it
gosh,
eaten,
I
and then
would-
the
Now it's
core.
13
That's
assets
insane.
instead of just one.
Well, and we
But I
have
always used to say, like, look, because of that apple, you can't have that rocket suit.
Aww.
Now, do you guys want to go to the moon? Or do you want to
Oh, I can see him going.
Yeah, and at the end of the season, I write everyone letters and say thank you and oh my god, you were great. And I think I spent a page saying I'm so sorry you ended up having to be the person like the bad guy who had to like tell everyone.
Yeah, no, I always used to say it was bad dad time every time I came.
Yeah.
I had to tell everybody they weren't going to the water park this summer. Because they wrote a water park into an episode.
They did.
No,
We're literally not going to the water.
Yeah, we're not going to the water park.
no,
Oh, you had to bring down the bad
Yeah.
news. You were the one that really.
This week.
no, you
Well, you know what though? Like, I will say it was like I never came in and said like you. I never really said you can't do anything. I
Right.
just said, look, there's a smart way to do it, and also there's a way that's going to look good.
There's
to
a
do
smart way
it
to do
too,
it and the way you're doing it.
Yeah, we can try to do it.
There's a chasm
Yeah.
between.
Do it the other way, but
Right.
you're also gonna have a bad version of it. Like you're gonna have
Yeah,
like
right.
the really cheap or like rushed or the not great version. So it's like, but honestly, I think with all the teams working together like that, though, like the writers, like all of our writers said they weren't used to that level of collaboration.
Right. Yep.
But we literally, I was like bringing all the threads of all the different departments together that on another show would probably be
Separated. Yeah,
Very
no.
but you know, everyone was down for the cause.
Yep.
You know, to make sure that like when you hand it off to your team or hand it off to the next team, you're giving them something they can work with
Right.
and not
Yeah.
like
Right.
torturing them.
And that's what I mean. Really, on Muppet Babies, like
That's
the,
a beautiful thing what you just said.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and
because
never-
when you have that division, then there always something,
Yeah, and I
falls
just
through the
recognized that
cracks.
there would be problems
Yeah.
with that, right? So
Well,
open up the
huzzah
lanes
to
of
that.
communication. And then what we ended up finding though was everyone was kind of plussing.
Yeah.
So the board artists, you know, having to take into account
Yes.
that they could only do,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 4 backgrounds or something. We'd get really creative with how we use those backgrounds, you know, or the the background designers might put something in that like, influence like what, somebody else would sort of play with. And then we would get these really inventive sequences. And so
but that's what, like,
you would never know it from looking at the show.
putting
like, sort of what the
limitations
challenges
on things really it sparks so much more creativity, because if you can just do whatever you want,
that's so
then it's
true.
then it just becomes a mess.
Yeah.
Like like I'm on a show now that has a lot of like really complicated 2D sequences and stuff, and the limitations we have, sometimes it makes for a better design and more interesting design that you
Right.
wouldn't have done, like where
Get a little more creative.
you have to be a little more creative, and you end up with
yeah.
something that looks cooler than what you guys talking about. That's what we did all the time.
It influenced the
that's what he
styles
told
of
himself.
things.
Yeah.
Like,
The lines
He
we tell
told himself
ourselves.
that so he doesn't.
yeah. Well, and it also being creative on the earlier seasons bought us time to actually build out things that we really wanted to do. So like by the end of the show, we actually had like the Muppet Show theater.
Yep.
That
From the
was
Muppet Show.
amazing.
Like we had actually built that in 3D, whereas like maybe in earlier seasons we would have like made that like a 2D collage,
That
like
was
flats
such a
and
great
stuff.
tribute.
That finale,
that
last
was everything.
Yeah.
The
Muppet Babies.
blow, you guys blew it,
Oh.
blew it out. I went, how'd they pay for this?
That was amazing.
Well, we had a
Stole all
Muppet
of
budget
it.
too every
Stole all of it.
season.
Yeah.
We were only allowed a certain amount of Muppets every season.
Yeah, that we could
So
build.
we had to really be careful. But what you saw at the very end was every
all of
Muppet we
Everyone.
ever had.
Even Blurf.
Including
Blurf.
Blurf.
Yeah, and Blurf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God
our
rest
show's
his soul.
mascot.
Yeah.
Even the old man up in the
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf, our alternate
Right,
personality.
they were
Okay,
sounding
they
rolled
were.
up too.
So let's hear a little bit of stuff.
What did they sound like?
Well, this is, it's kind of weird having that come out of Fozzie.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it's very strange, isn't it?
But,
It doesn't make any sense.
it's not bad, but it ain't good.
Hey, it's not good.
On
I
cue.
missed that so much.
I do too. I do too. And say, okay, do it again. I like what they did, but let's just listen to it again. Top of your joke. Okay.
One more time.
That's
funny
another.
this
That's
time.
another thing about the Muppet Babies records, where like it was an ensemble record.
Yes.
Like so many shows now are just
Radio
individual voice actors
play.
just come in, they do their thing, and then they leave. But you taught me,
Yes.
like that. You love doing ensemble records because the actors get to play off of each other. So
Energy.
Kids Next Door, like like we've always done ensembles, and these guys together with Dee and Mel.
Well,
and
we
Ben.
had the luck again of doing it for a very good amount of time in the studio in person.
Yeah.
But then during the pandemic,
Yes.
When
we
you
were
went
like
to
one
do
of the
that,
first
yes.
shows, I think.
Yes.
One of the that would have 5 people on a call. Whereas now, if you think about it, at least lately,
Well, I gotta tell you, Motu, Masters of the Universe, also
Okay.
around the same time.
Yeah.
I had like 12 people on Zoom at one time because everybody had already had a booth, pretty much. So it wasn't like I had to wait for anybody to, get there. As some people didn't have it, but then oh my gosh, we started to think about those days. It's insane.
How did I still manage to be late recording in my closet,
It's a phenomenon.
which was 2 feet away from my bed? I'm a genius.
I want to tell a
I thought
story.
Greg Delisle was good
Yes.
at being late. Here's a picture of me in traffic. That's
She sent me
here's a picture of me in the 405. Hi, Gray. How are you?
No, I told the story earlier that I would literally, as she was in the booth, and she's like this, right? And I would text her, "Your line's coming up, Scooby." But if you were to look at most of my texts to Mr. Bowser,
oh,
ETA question mark.
ETA.
ETA question mark.
mark.
What are you getting in the booth? What are you going to be there? Where are you?
I'm at Salami
I'm gonna-
Studios. We recorded Atlas.
But I
Oh, we
know.
had that.
But the snacks are better here.
Turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon.
They're called salami for a reason.
It does smell like salami, but it does smell like turkey.
During the pandemic, I'll tell you another funny story unrelated to Muppets, a preschool show I do voices, multiple voices on Bugs Bunny Builders. My neighbor was one of the writers on it.
No.
And I didn't even know this until the rap party. When I saw I was like, what is my neighbor doing here? And she was like, I could never find a good time to tell you.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Joe. Her name was Joe. Yeah. I was like, my neighbor's here? This is weird. She's like,
Just
I'm
wanted
a
to
right.
tell you to move your trash can. Blocking my car.
Also, we did have a question on the chat.
Pull your pants up when you guard. Yeah.
What's your favorite Looney Tunes cartoon? Your favorite Bugs Bunny cartoon? Sorry.
Oh man, it's got to be long-haired hair. It's the one where he lives next door to an opera singer.
It's the best.
Yeah.
On a rainy night in Rio, where do they go when there ain't no starry sky?
And he's playing a banjo, actually.
Where do they go when they can't go for a walk? Do they stay home and talk, or do they sit and sigh?
When he's singing and the opera singer starts singing what he's singing outside, and it annoys the hell out of him.
So good.
That's my favorite one. Yeah. But yeah, again, just going back to me being late for Zooms. It's like, my neighbor would be
I'm
like,
glad we're going to sit here on this for a minute.
poor Mary Elizabeth McGlynn would have to direct me from Hawaii, which is also a different time zone.
And she too is sending ETA question mark, right?
Oh, yeah, all the
We're all
time.
going to get that T-shirt.
Oh, for sure. ETA.
Yeah.
An elaborate ruse to
Your
confront
birthday
you,
party.
actually.
Yeah. But it was funny because my neighbor's like, oh, I can hear him. I think he's in the kitchen. Oh, and he's making his way to the studio in the garage. So my neighbor would know. It's like,
Oh, I needed your neighbor's number then.
Eyes on.
You should. They moved away. Shout out to
my
Joe.
connection.
Right
Gosh.
around Bugs Bunny Builders. Oh boy. And that's where it comes to, is me being late all the time. Just Filipinos. That's just what we do.
Oh, no. You're not using an
My race
Don't pin this on an entire people.
No.
That's what we're here to talk about. Really?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Well, let's remind them why we're here. To,
Yeah.
The throwback.
Good segue.
10,000
Great segue.
10,000 heroes.
10,000 heroes.
You guys, this is
1,000,000
Don't be late
heroes.
donating.
that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
Four.
don't be late to donate. I love
What
that.
was the math again, Joe? It was 1
It's-
times 10.
It is.
There's some ones, there's some
$100.
zeros.
Carry the 4 and 7.
I didn't read my abacus.
It's
See what I have to deal with,
I'm
y'all.
4.
Yeah.
This could
We're
be a
looking to
normal
make
day.
$11 billion.
That's it. Right.
Yes, I love your math. 11 billion. That would be amazing.
My cheeks are killing me.
I know.
Oh,
How long have you guys been up?
we started.
This is
our
our
11:15.
I'm not even
Yeah.
looking. It doesn't
Yeah, I know,
matter. We
just-
keep having people come
good.
in and talk
This is
with
good.
us. How lucky am I? I don't have to direct you. I get to just sit here with you.
And we get
And
told all the
it-
time it is. There's
I
no
never
windows
get
in
to
here.
talk.
I'm still looking for directions. Still looking for directions.
Like, this is like my dream job. This is half the time when I'm over there and I'm directing, and then they're going, and you and I don't want to even look at the clock. We just want to listen to what y'all are doing.
I
Don't
think
make
this has
me
been a
be-
great conversation, but if we could hear the first part of A and the second part of D,
me.
if we could splice these
I am-
conversation together, yes.
I am the queen of Frankenstein.
It's okay.
But I'm saving you a lot of time and effort by doing that, because you've given me gold in line A and gold in F, and I can put them together and they sound amazing.
How was Victor Cook? Victor was here.
Vic
right?
was here early in the morning.
Hi, Vic.
He was, yeah. He was amazing.
He was great.
He was amazing.
I wish we had more time with him.
I know.
Bring him back.
I think he was a little apprehensive, as Vic is. He's
Sure.
very, very thorough. So he came in and we pre-recorded with him, and I do think that he wished he could have stayed a little
Oh yeah,
longer.
we
He
were
was-
just getting going, and
right?
we were just getting things sort of set up, and he had this little window, but like we were just the conversation was just getting going. We had to wrap it up, but he was great.
Yeah.
Vic's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of history there. I think about all the people that you've had on today, and I saw David Kay walking through these halls earlier.
Yeah,
Amazing.
is this crazy? How many wonderful people? I mean, you guys just keep.
I want to hear your coming. And you too.
Oh, Tom, you're here? Go.
running out of interesting people.
Well, that is
No.
something about walking the hallowed hallways of Salami Studios too. Like, there's so much history that it's made in this room that we've all made in Studio A, and just
Yeah.
up and down these hallways. And
Love
I used the bathroom. And I was like, oh, I remember using this bathroom when I was 35 years old. It's the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Standing shoulder to shoulder with William Shatner.
Oh,
Or some
William
celebrities,
Shatner.
the same when some celebrities lock themselves
Yeah,
in.
exactly. I remember crying on the floor of this bathroom. No.
I was in this room with Billy D. Williams once. Recording a Lego Star Wars.
Did it
And I-
work? Did it work every time?
And and I was gonna say that to him at Iroha Sushi the other day, but I was like, he probably pepper spray me or something. Hi, remember me from Salami? Yeah, his whole family eating ramen. Would have been awful.
You know, these carpets used to be beige.
Stop it with the carpets again.
Sorry.
Ew.
I'm made out of felt and fabric. I just keep looking down.
Fozzie, keep your eyes up.
Talking about the history. I mean, yes.
Oh, my
boy.
goodness.
Well, we recorded 3 Caballeros in here too.
That's true.
We had Wayne Knight doing Baron von Schellgoose in this room, and that was just unbelievable history. That's the 2 things that we got going. We got Muppet Babies off the ground, and we got 3 Caballeros out the door.
With Tony Ensemble. Right?
Tony Ensemble, the voice of Donald Duck.
Yeah, we had an amazing cast, an amazing time. We should probably wrap it up. We're going to throw to another segment, and we're starting to fade a little bit. You guys are
I'm not fading.
super amazing. I am
Let's
fading.
have fire.
That was the royal we.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I just want to say thanks for having us. Past our
thank you.
bedtime. Don't tell Nanny. And go to 10,000 Heroes to donate, okay? It's for a good cause. It's for kids like us.
Yeah.
We got to help the kids.
You gotta help the kids. Help the kids.
Okay. Thank you.
Link is in chat, y'all.
Link is in the chat. This is all for the greatest cause.
Cannot thank you guys enough. Oh my
yeah.
God.
If Animal hit were
I
here,
think
he'd probably
this
say
one
go
is
bye.
like he would rather just stay right here for the next 12 hours. And,
nothing would be
and
better.
I know,
Nothing
I
would be
know. You've been tickled. I mean, you guys are the best.
He says that to
You're the best.
No,
He wasn't.
no.
He'll be
You're
tickled
the
later.
best.
We'll tickle you
Oh,
later.
Kermie, I miss you.
It's been so long.
It has been.
I know,
But I would have sent you home today.
Like, oh, I miss those voices.
I would have sent you home today.
I know you would have. Yeah. It's very late.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I know you can hear it.
I can.
I'm a little froggy.
You hear that?
Frog in my throat.
Get it out, Kermie. Get it out. There you go.
The gristle.
Thank you for bringing the puppets. I mean, I can't even believe.
Wait, there's puppets here?
Oh no! No.
Where are
It's
they?
the hand warmers.
Yeah.
Hand warmers.
Well, I'm going to head back to Burbank Flappers Comedy Club.
Boy.
In case you guys want to come, I got a few tickets. It's a bringer show. You know, I got to bring people, or else I don't get to perform there again.
Two drink minimum?
2 milk minimum.
2 milk minimum.
2 milk minimum. And yeah, it's gonna be fun.
He's my ride too, so I have to go.
Love to see Fozzie Bear stand up.
It's gonna be me and Bill
Down the
Burr.
street
Who
here.
else is there? There's gonna be a lot of people.
Wow. Yeah.
All my stuff got cut from the Tom Brady roast.
Fozzie
That's true.
and Tom Brady.
All my Giselle Bundchen jokes just really were a little bit too harsh, a little bit too on the money.
Oh.
Anyways, that wasn't an alimony joke or anything.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's been great.
Before it starts getting too racy.
I hear the Disney lawyers in the parking lot.
Yep,
This
they're
is
here.
not an officially sanctioned appearance.
They brought their handcuffs. Let's go.
Once again, I've been Ken John. Thank you so much for watching. Oh boy. Okay. Now. This guy's my ride. Let's go, Chris.
You can hide in my jacket.
Here we go.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you guys.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Guys. All right.
I
Thank you.
hope we
Sonny.
brought so many laughs.
We're
So
gonna
many laughs.
throw to the next segment is gonna be a pre-recorded session with the making of Johnny Bravo with Jeff Bennett and Van Particle. An amazing session.
Yeah.
It's about a half hour long. It is so funny and
I had the
so
pleasure of jumping in on that. with
you
them.
are you popped in on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh, it's such a great
That
piece.
was
So
nice.
Oh, mama.
all right,
Oh,
guys.
Oh, mama.
Like you said, we could just sit here and let
Yeah.
it.
Hi, Ben. Hi. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Ben.